Yo, we got this thing once again. I don't even know if I can hear. Babe, can you go on my YouTube and see if you can hear me?
Yeah. Did you send it?
Hold on.
Are you live?
Yeah. So just go to my YouTube. You subscribe to me? You better be
I
subscribed.
am.
Oh, okay.
But I thought you were just gonna send the link.
Uh,
But yeah, I got it.
you see me?
Uh huh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hear the last part of the live. I'm like 40 seconds behind.
Well, can you hear anything?
Yeah, I hear our whole conversation.
You hear it
Yeah.
from your phone?
Huh?
From your phone?
From what?
From your phone?
From my earphones. Yeah.
You hear me in your earphones? Nah, I'm fucking with
I'm like, are you
you.
serious?
Yeah. Um. Okay, so this is why Kyrie Irving is not going to play in the NBA probably ever again as COVID rampant ramp ramps up ramparts as COVID gets worse. Um. Yeah, as you guys know, Kyrie Irving is an Indian. Um, I'm not sure what part of India, what kind of tribe or whatever he's a part of, but I know he's an Indian. Do I a native? I ain't calling that nigga no Native American. Is Indian racist?
I mean, people can take it that kind of way, but I would just say it's not the correct thing to call them. Like Native American or like Native Indians, like Cherokees and things like
But
that.
that's what I'm
Back in the
getting into, like
Indians.
how America screwed them over.
Uh,
It's like calling us African Americans.
mhm.
Like, is that really like offensive to call them like just African or black or some shit like that?
No, not if you're specifically talking about that demographic of people. No,
It's like Mexican, like calling somebody a Mexican.
and
Look at
they're
that
not
Mexican.
Mexican.
No, they're Mexican.
That's fine. That's their
Or is it just how I'm
heritage.
saying it?
It could be both. It could be how you say it. But I mean, that's their heritage. That's their background, their native background. So you can call them that.
Ethnicity, Entis-
Yeah,
en-
their ethnicity.
ethnicity. All right, so boom, Kyrie Irving. Um, he's a Native American,
That's yeah.
Indian, and yeah. So Thanksgiving. Boom. Not to rain on your Thanksgiving Day parade. This is an article from the New York Times. It's called "Everything You Learned About Thanksgiving is Wrong," and this is the first Thanksgiving at Plymouth. You know, they say they landed on Plymouth Rock. Yada yada yada. Not to rain on your Thanksgiving Day parade, but the story. I forgot about the Thanksgiving Day parade. I forgot all about that. But the story of the first Thanksgiving, as most Americans have been taught, the pilgrims and the natives gathering together, the famous feast, the turkey, is not exactly accurate. Thanksgiving facts and Thanksgiving myths have blended together for years like so much gravy and mashed potatoes. Gravy and mashed potatoes is underrated in my opinion and should be cooked more in my household.
People don't know how to cook it. That's
Real.
all.
And separating them is just complicated. Blame school textbooks with details, often so abridged, softened, or out of context, they are ultimately made false. Children's books that simplify the story to its most pleasant version are animated television specials like The Mouse on the Mayflower. I think I seen that, which first aired in 1968. Not only misinformed a generation, but also enforced a slew of cringe-worthy stereotypes. So I was born in '93. So when all this information and all this started coming out, wasn't no internet back then when I was coming up. We had AOL dial up, and I wasn't trying to find the truth on that hoe. I was trying to play games. Uh cartoonnetwork.com and all that good stuff. Brain games online or .com or some shit like that.
Yeah, same here.
Brain something. Shockwave. Uh
Computers were not that advanced. The web engine was not that advanced back then.
right.
So the sources that we have now is so useful.
So we go high school textbooks are particularly bad about stating absolutes. That's my phone. It's in the middle. Who's that?
Blue Island, Illinois, I think.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
no, nobody from over there.
Yeah, Illinois. You don't think it's about the car?
Mm-mm. That's in Hayward. I think. Yeah. High school textbooks. They'll leave a voicemail. Are particularly bad about stating absolutes because these materials teach history by giving students facts to memorize, even when the details may be unclear, said James W. Lowen, a sociologist and the author of Lies My Teacher Told Me, Everything Your American History Textbook Got Wrong. And these are the people we're supposed to be listening to. That mindset pervades everything they talk about, and certainly Thanksgiving, he said. The timeline is relative. The Mayflower did bring the Pilgrims to North America from Plymouth, England, in 1960, and they disembarked at what is now Plymouth, Massachusetts, where they set up a colony. In 1621, they celebrated a successful harvest with a 3-day gathering that was attended by members of the Wampanoag tribe. It's from this that we derive Thanksgiving as we know it. Into straight haired Mexicans, because they try to make Mexicans Indians. These are all Mexicans or Hispanics. Sorry, these are all the Hispanics. The Spix. I couldn't resist. Sorry. Uh, Squanto and all them. I remember I learned about Squanto. Okay, this nigga got a beanie on. I'm about to. Nigga got a beanie on. I'm dead. Okay, but it wasn't until the 1830s that this event was called the First Thanksgiving by New Englanders, who looked back and thought it resembled their version of the holiday, said Kate Sheehan, a spokeswoman for Plymouth Plantation. Oh my God. We got to eradicate the word plantation. That just the hand sanitizer. Thank you. We have to eradicate that word plantation. I just don't like the way the memories that it brings up, you know?
But you can't change it. You need to keep that part of the history so people understand what's connected to it. You can't change it.
No, we got to eradicate that word. Call it something else.
Yeah, because it loses its meaning if that's what exactly what it connotation or a negative connection to that word, so we feel what was going on back then. So you got to keep
I
it.
feel that word.
But that's the purpose. That's the purpose.
Ancestor just cried in my soul just now. A living history museum in Plymouth. The holiday wasn't made official until 1863. That's when the slaves was around. That's when we came to this motherfucker. When President Abraham Lincoln, well, they say black people, you know what I'm saying, there are some black Native Americans. So we were always here. Um when President Abraham Lincoln declared it as a kind of thank you for the Civil War victories in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and Gettysburg. What's PA? Pennsylvania? I
Pennsylvania.
thought that's PEN.
That you'll see that like Penn State or something.
Hmm.
PEN.
Beyond that, claiming it was the first Thanksgiving isn't quite right either, as both Native American and European societies had been holding festivals to celebrate successful harvests for centuries. Say that 5 times fast. God damn. Festivals to celebrate successful harvests for centuries, Mr. Lowen said. A prevalent opposing viewpoint is that the first Thanksgiving stems from the massacre of Pequot, Pinoit. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to pronounce it. The Q or not. People in 1637, a culmination of the Pequot War. While it is true that a day of Thanksgiving was noted in the Massachusetts Bay and the Plymouth colonies afterward, it is not accurate to say it was the basis. I don't even know what I'm reading, honestly. I don't know what this person is talking about. I don't know what this nigga talking about. Oh my goodness. I don't know what this nigga talking about. Okay, let's see. Possibly the most common misconception is that the pilgrims extended an invitation to the Native Americans for helping them reap the harvest. The truth of how they all ended up feasting together is unknown. Oh, so this is saying that they didn't even eat together.
Well, I think it is saying they did eat together, but they don't know how the event began or how it started.
Mm. See, look, they didn't.
You want to know something? You want to know what I'm thinking?
Known as Squanto, did play a large role in helping the Pilgrims. As American children are taught, his people, the Pataks, a band of the Wimapag tribe,
Um,
had lived. I should do like voiceovers for like cartoons and stuff. Had lived on the site where the Pilgrims settled. When they arrived, he became a translator for them in diplomacy and trade with other native people and showed them the most effective method for planting corn and the best locations to fish. Right. So he's showing them around, you know what I'm saying, Squanto. They might be from the same tribe, him and Kyrie Irving. That's usually where the lesson ends, but that's just a fraction of his story. He was captured by the English in 1614 and later sold into slavery in Spain. So they took over the land, sold him after he showed them everything, and he spent several years in England where he learned English. He returned to New England in 1619 only to find his entire tribe dead from smallpox. He met the Pilgrims in March 1621 and did what? I'm trying to see what happened. But yeah, so that's pretty much the point that I was trying to get to. That his entire family was wiped out by smallpox. So we see that the history of like these diseases like COVID-19 and all this stuff, right? Um It's a created disease. Let me see. I'll do Indians or should I do Native Americans? Okay. Native American smallpox. I'll do epidemic since we're dealing in epidemic today. Let's see. Look, they even got a damn helpline for these niggas. Like that's crazy. That's so sad. Let's see. Let's see. Damn. Okay. So it says they never had. I'm reading from here so you guys can see. They had never experienced smallpox, measles, or flu before, and the viruses tore through the continent, killing an estimated 90% of Native Americans. Smallpox is believed to have arrived in the Americas in 1520 on a Spanish ship sailing from Cuba, carried by an infected African slave. Damn. Wait, so when did when did slavery start? Okay, hold on. I'm tripping. They had never experienced smallpox. Speaking on the Native
Yeah.
Americans, I typed in how many natives died from smallpox.
Mhm.
So it says they had never experienced smallpox, measles, or flu before, and the viruses tore through the continent, killing an estimated 90%. 90%. Do you know how high that fucking number is of Americans? Smallpox, Native Americans, smallpox is believed to have arrived in the Americas in 1520 on a Spanish ship sailing from Cuba, carried by an affected African slave. So how the hell? It's an African slave sailing on a ship from Cuba to America.
Because, okay, so basically, when you read about pilgrims, it says pilgrims were English settlers who came from North America on the Mayflower, established from the Plymouth colony. So basically, it's these white people who are coming over to the Native Americas. But when you think, like, how are they getting there? They're sailing by ship, and trying to tell you, like, they had slaves on those ships already
Yeah.
when they went to go
Yeah.
and settle in Native America.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm actually thinking? Like when it comes to people or the what do you call them? The pilgrims coming and sharing a meal with Native Americans, they're probably like, "Oh, we're friendly. We'll help you
Mhm.
handle these crops and help you
Exactly.
harvest." And they had those meals, and then they turned on them and took over. I think that's what happened.
That's definitely what happened.
So,
So I
and
guess
then they got infected from the slaves. But then I don't really respect how they stated that by the infected African slave. If you want to
right.
say if it did come from the African slave,
Yeah, like
you
how
have
do
to
you
say
know
how the
that?
fuck did we get that?
Yeah,
How did we get
exactly.
the infections? Because of them
Exactly.
nasty. Anyway, because of the people who had enslaved us, either had us in these harsh ass conditions or
Exactly.
they're
We
the ones who
not
made us sick.
showering. They don't let us
And
shower and stuff. Like, man.
they disrespectful. Whoever
Yeah.
wrote that, I didn't like
Yeah,
that.
that
That
was
caught my
crazy.
attention. I just had to say
That was
that.
crazy. So of course they try to just blame us.
Right, and then
They
like
just gonna
the
blame
word that
Cuba.
says
You
that
gonna blame
I was intensely infected.
Africa. You gonna blame everybody but your damn self. Okay.
Right.
This is what we're talking about right here. Like you
Or
see it
you could have
firsthand.
said
It's
the
on camera.
infected population that came from
Right.
Cuba, but still, it's one side of the story.
Right. Right.
What? No.
Exactly. During the 1770s, smallpox eradicates at least 30% of the native population on the northwest coast of North America, including numerous members of the Puget Sound tribes. This apparent first smallpox epidemic on the northwest coast coincides with the first direct European contact and is the most. Oh shit! Viver, hello, right there. Virulent, the most
Virulent?
virulent,
Virulent?
virulent. Okay,
Maybe I'll say
I like
that.
violent.
What did it say?
Can I hold on? Look
Yeah,
up.
I would say virulent because it's similar to virus or viral, and they're talking about illnesses. Watch me be right.
Yeah, it is violent, virulent,
Virulent.
virulent.
Okay.
Adjective of a disease or poison. Yep, extremely severe or harmful in its effect. A virulent.
Close to virus.
Hmm. Yep.
Viral.
Poisonous. Virulent. You niggas is virulent.
Virulent disease.
Ooh, you got that violent. That shit kind of violent. Uh, the deadly European diseases that will sweep over the region. Hold on, it's my. Because I wonder if
You
I.
want me to check?
Oh yeah, I wanted to type it just to see how to say it. 'Cause you know my thing to talk, but I don't think it's doing it. Hold up. Yeah, nah, it ain't doing it. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Where was I at? Transparent.
Oh,
hmm
okay. It's pronounced virulent.
What is it?
Virulent.
Virulent. I don't think my
Virulent.
lips do that. Virulent.
There you go. Virulent. Yes.
Virulent. Ah,
Virulent.
virulent. Of the deadly European diseases that will sweep over the region during the next 80 to 100 years. In his seminal work, The Coming of the Spirit of the Pestilence, historian Robert Boyd estimates that the 1770s smallpox epidemic killed more than 11,000 Western Washington Indians, reducing the population from about 37,000 to 26,000. Yeah, so
I'm sorry.
by the 1850s, when the first Euro American settlers arrived at Alki Point and along the Duwamish River, diseases had already taken a devastating toll on native peoples and their cultures. During the 80-year period from the 1770s to 1850s, smallpox, measles, influenza, and other diseases had killed an estimated 28,000 Native Americans in Washington, Western Washington, leaving about 9,000 survivors. The Indian population continued to decline, although at a slower rate until the beginning of the 20th century when it reached its low point. Since then, the Native American population has been slowly increasing. Cap. I ain't met you met an Indian? Like I'm talking
Native
about a
American?
real live
Yeah,
Native
like a
American.
Cherokee Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm, I haven't.
They are more
I met
so.
one,
You know how
Marley.
people.
That's probably the only Indian I know.
It was more so like in middle school. We went on a field trip to a museum, and you know how people would come to schools and do like a career day or something like that. Well, anyways, we had career days, but they came and they did the Cherokee Indians, and some people had like the nationality heritage and stuff, and that was actually pretty cool.
So look, it says a person with smallpox infects others by passing the virus through the air, by coughing, or by coming into physical contact. Once another person is affected, there is no way to stop the disease until it has run its course, and the sick person either dies or survives. So they don't got no cure for you. So you either finna you either finna die from this or you finna live from it. And this was in the 1700s.
That's hella scary. I
This
mean,
is from the 1700s.
that's the same shit out here. I mean, we don't have cures for a lot of stuff.
But they got a vaccine. I don't think they got a vaccine for smallpox. I think yeah. You know when you a baby, you come out and you get all these shots and stuff. I done got a shot for everything. I done had flu shots. I done had all kind of shots. I caught measles. I caught the flu before. Strep throat. I done caught damn near everything. And shit, this is up to your body to fight it off. And they wasn't giving these people masks and stuff back then. I'm
Like,
pretty
what kind of
sure
mask was they gonna have?
some
No
little cloth
mask.
little mask or something if they know it's coming through the
They
air.
barely had clothes back
I
then.
bet you them pilgrims had masks. I bet you they did. I was
Bandanas.
finna say, yeah, them bandanas, them cowboys.
They're not cowboys. That's not that time period yet, but something similar,
Shit.
yeah.
Man, those cowboys and Indians. That was that time period.
Actually, yeah, huh? That's hella funny.
Cowboys, Indians, a few niggas here and there. Cause we was down south getting work. Them Indians and stuff and cowboys. I think that's more what northern Oregon and shit like that. Western.
Yeah, like
That's more like
Oklahoma.
west, like out here and up north and stuff. We was down south getting our ass whooped. It's a different world down south.
Yeah, but then it's a different world up north. Getting
And on
shot
the
with
west.
arrows and shit.
Right. Get shot with pistols and beat out the pubs and kicked out the salons and shit. Saloons, whatever they call. So, okay, 1 to 2 weeks after infection, the first symptoms occur with fever, headache, and pains. Same kind of stuff with same symptoms with COVID.
Oh, they said let's just
You
pick
get a
what's right
fever,
there in Bible's book
headache,
and
little
pick it.
body aches.
Let's recreate this shit right here.
Yeah. About 2 days later, rashes appear as red spots on the face, hands, and feet. Smallpox symptoms last about 2 or more weeks. The red spots spread across the whole body and get larger, becoming pustular lesions. These lesions that look like blisters itch until they scab, dry up, and fall off. Survivors are left with deep scars or pockmarks on the face and body. It takes about 1 month after initial infection for the disease to run its course. Those who survive are immune from the disease for life. Yeah, until they bring the shit back. Okay, look, a vaccine to smallpox was discovered in 1798 by an Englishman and first used in Puget Sound during the 1836 to 37 outbreak. That was well after the Indians was dead. Oh man. Okay. But see how long it took to come out with this vaccine? Hold on. When did this
Vaccine
shit
for what?
start?
Smallpox?
Yeah.
Well, medicine was trash back then, but it
Mm,
still is here and there.
It's still gonna take a little minute, more than like a few months.
When did it come out?
It came out in I'm trying to see when so the vaccine came out in 1798.
And when did the virus start?
Uh, in 1770s, sometime in the 1770s.
Yeah, so about 20
So
years.
about 20 years for a vaccine.
Hmm. Well,
Okay, and I just want to see how many pilgrims were infected with this. I just want to see real quick.
let's say some nice shit. Pilgrims,
Right.
like, not deadly infectious disease.
Europeans brought smallpox to North America when they first began colonizing. I did. God damn it! I like this article. Shit. Most Europeans were immune to the disease due to living conditions in overpopulated Europe.
So it's real funny because look, you're only immune to the disease if you've had it
If you
already.
had it, so they
So
already had that
they've had
shit
it, and it's
in
funny how
Europe.
they talked about they're immune. So they're like, we're not spreading
Ah,
it. They don't mention it or they don't make it very clear, but then they're gonna say they got it from the enslaved, infected Africans.
exactly.
Like, bruh, we got it from the
Europe
Europeans.
from y'all. Come on
It
now.
says it right there.
20 settlers on the Mayflower, which that's the ship y'all was on, not that Cuba
Yeah.
shit y'all was talking about.
Well, I mean, it might have came from Cuba. I don't know where it
Oh
came
well,
from.
shit. I'm going. Were infected during their only, including their only physician, Doctor Samuel Fuller. So you motherfuckers already had it and were immune to it and killed 90%.
And it even
Look, I don't even
And you want to know
damn
something? Like
with
that
the
doctor, if the doctor's sick,
20 million
everybody that sees
people.
that damn doctor's
20
gonna get that
million
shit.
people have died in the years following the European invasion. Up to 95% of the population of the Americas. Like, come on, bro.
That's not a lot though.
20 million ain't a
20
lot of
million
people.
since the disease came out is not a lot.
That's a lot of goddamn
In the
people.
1900s, 1800s, was it?
That's a lot of people.
That's not a lot of people.
Shit.
They'll tell us over in the Americas over the past decade, just 20 million people have died from shootings at least. So
Now
that's not a lot of
that's
people.
a pandemic. Shit.
Yes, it is.
Guns.
Guns is definitely a pandemic.
Man, niggas is getting popped. Been getting popped.
But still, that's nasty. Whatever the hell they did.
So this is why I
Damn
think Kyrie
Europeans.
Irving
I'm not racist, y'all.
is not finna join the NBA because he's not going to get the vaccine, obviously. And this is why he's not going to get the vaccine because his people, being that he's Indian, um, were wiped out by smallpox.
Mm,
So he probably doesn't trust the medicine. He doesn't trust the doctors. It's a trust thing.
mm.
Yeah, man. That's it.
Native and natural medicines is also something that's been around for centuries, way before like what we have now, which is a scheme for many people. So I believe like the not like what we have in the modern day for the medical world, it might be like a 30% chance that like somebody is wholeheartedly trying to help you. The
Right.
rest of the medical system is just trying to make money off of you. I'll say that. So I would say, look for natural specialists if you can. But if it's something that you need like a serious treatment, like a broken bone, or you might have like a chronic condition since birth, then of course seek help from medical professionals now. But if you got a scratch, you better find some leaves and put that shit on there and deal with it. Just like
Yeah, I feel like that's the reason why Kyrie Irving will never see him again, man. unless they lift this mandate.